there is a reason that you are perfect. If you've seen my message on anyadvicefortoday.com, you will know that I'm using perfect to mean that you are needed in the world now. And I'm going to talk about that. I know we're going through a lot of stuff, and I've spoken about this for the longest time, and I've spoken about my program, and I'm going to kind of pull all of that together now. I'm a little tired. I was awakened at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. That happens when my guides want to show me some information, give me something, and so that's what happened today. But let me talk about it. I know I've been, some people aren't understanding what is happening in the world, and I've been talking about it, and they're thinking this guy he's a little nuts, and that's okay. But you see it. Things that came through like a couple of years ago in my writings that I was attempting to tell everyone, I couldn't make tangible because they hadn't occurred yet. Now they have. They're happening right now. So many references, and so I thought I have to do more. I have to offer more. So what I was watching last night, or coming to first, was Alfred Adler. I never studied Alfred Adler, and I didn't know anything about the Adlerian theory. I knew nothing about that. That's been my life. That's been my life since I was a kid. In school, they would say, Roger daydreams, because I wouldn't look. They thought that I needed glasses or something because I would not pay attention. I was always staring out the windows, but I was envisioning something. Who knew? And last night, what was so wonderful that I learned about Alfred Adler, because again, I never studied him, we had very similar kind of ideas in childhoods. He had these tragedies. He had all these things that happened physically for him growing up. I, of course, never knew that. And it caused him to develop this need to have others not go through that, which is why he became a doctor, why he did all the things that he did, and which is obviously what's driven me in the work that I'm doing now. But there was this other problem, you see, because all of these people were doctors. They're doctors and scientists, and they studied things. They went to school. They had this academic learning. I never had that. I mean, I went to school. I did all that stuff, but I didn't study. I somehow passed and got great grades, and nobody could figure that out. No one could figure that out. Couldn't figure that out. It was bizarre because I would look at my brothers, and they would, especially my older brother, because that was my best example, and he would study and he would read and he would do all these things, and I couldn't do that and could never figure it out. And so I thought something was wrong. So I formed a belief, and when you form a belief about yourself, you carry it on until it's changed, until you decide to change it. And so I carried that belief most of my life. Now, I did all sorts of things not knowing why I was doing them, how I was doing them. Even my coaching voice, that was the weirdest thing yet, because I'm making great voices and I'm not using music, I'm using something else. That went on forever. And so when I started receiving the information about what was happening, I'm thinking, how do I know this? How does this coming about? We all have memory. And when I went back and I looked at my program, Infinite Intelligence was the first thing that was given during that time, and I said I had to think about that. We all have this information. So after I saw Adler, then I was led to the World Science Summit. Never heard of that. Didn't know anything about it, and it's something that goes on every year, but it's showing how science and spirituality and all these things are coming together, neuroscience, to create our world. That's what happens, but we're just understanding it. As humans, we learn things as we go along, and we're still doing that now. And that's what we're all up to doing. But we're having a restructuring, and we're having a war because not enough people have come to know who they are. And so I said, wait a minute. Watching the summit, that helped because, see, there was now scientific proof to what I was feeling, and there's so much of it out, and there's more of it. And then they're saying that we couldn't leave out the spirituality. And in my live conversations, if you've heard this, It came out that I was supposed to bring together science, spirituality, and human potential, human development, because we're still evolving, always evolving. And I had such trouble with all of this because I needed some validity like you needed it. That's it. So now I have it. And now that's why I'm going to make a difference. I have that crazy idea that I'm going to help change the world. And I know that that's possible. Because I thought, if I could get more people to feel like me, we wouldn't have any wars. And how did that happen? It happened because for years, since I was a kid, I had to work through all of my disbeliefs. I had to work through all of my crap. I was the most insecure person. I was fearful. I was of everything. I told you, my mother said, he was careful. That's what I was my entire life. And so it stopped me from doing so much. But what happens is when you live something, you develop something out of that. There are no disabilities. There are things that you then create abilities. And that's what I did. So now I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh, wow, I've got something that could cause people to know who they are and to feel really secure. Never have to steal, never have to worry about anything, have any problems with money or any of that. That's what I have. And I'm trying to tell everyone else that it was challenging. That's why you guys couldn't have probably gotten it either. However, now I know. And we are moving into a different era. And I understand that, and I can no longer hold back. I've got to do more to help others. So the thing is, I sat there and I thought, I'm completely calm, no fear of any of that. And why wouldn't I give that to other people? Why wouldn't I have other people have that? And so that's why I'm making these changes, and I'm so grateful because I was on Twitter this morning, and I sent Elon Musk a tweet because we're going to have some controversy there, and it was already happening today. But he put out one tweet, and I sent it back to him, and I said, thank you, this is hopeful. Because he was trying to offer something different. He was going back and forth. But I said, I'm going to put in the love that we need, because that's what's going to shift everything. And it's the love of the self. It's the love of you. You have to come to a place where you're accepting and knowing exactly who you are. And that's how we end wars. And people have not understood that. There are a lot of neuroscientists and everyone else who are coming to this, and spiritual people who only are in that realm know that, and because they live in a different way. I'm supposed to bring it all together. That was my thing. And so what I'm going to do is bring those people who are willing, who want to feel completely secure and own themselves, happy, not fearful, not judging, none of that stuff. I don't have any of that anymore, and I had to work through all of my anger. This is how it happened. And it happened through the stuff that I received. It wasn't me, I received it, but I used it. I've been using it for years. That's how I survived, got through all that stuff. Same thing with Alfred Adler too. He became well towards the end of his life, and that's why he developed that stuff. Again, I never studied any of that. However, I am telling you this. There's going to be more information that's going to come through tomorrow in the live talk. I'm doing a Wilhelm channeling session. And then, as you know, my program, it's going away on Sunday because I'm going to work with someone who can know how to put the value on there to get it out there to the right people. We live in a world where we're being controlled by money. You can see it. This is why everything is shifting a bit. I'm not making this up. You can see it happening in the world. And there's going to be more of it, and we're going to be in this place for a while, at least a year or so before things start to settle out. When we do galactic shifts, this is a big shift. When we do those things, it takes a little while. Think about how long it's taken you to do anything. Think about how long it's taken me to really own and talk about what's here. That's what's happening. But I hope you come tomorrow and or at least sign up, because you'll receive the replay. I want everyone to have it because it's going to help you. I'm going to keep with my belief that I'm this person who can bring enough light and love to the world to make a difference, and that all I have to do is own who I am and get other people to do exactly the same thing. All right, see you guys soon.